Michelle! Michelle May! Slow your roll, Diane! You are making this game much harder on yourself than it needs to be, okay? I sometimes forget, but I have to keep reminding myself that she is a Chaos player. She is more of an inadvertent Chaos player. Kind of like Deb. Those that would remember Deb from Rock Islands as Lindsay, and Vesepia in Marquesas Redux, and most recently, last season, as Dr. Evil in Heroes vs. Villains. Michelle is also an inadvertent Chaos player. She does not come into a game wanting to create chaos and, you know, do big things and memorable, crazy stuff just for fun, and she just has a way of accidentally creating it, because she does a lot of what Deb does, is she misinterprets things or just makes some casual mistakes that kind of end up getting blown out of proportion. Prime example, obviously, we know what happened with the Pot of Gold challenge. That's, you know, I get it. Completely inadvertent mistake. You know, everybody's working hard, quickly, and just happened to miss that. You know, honest mistake. She covered for it very well. So I was working on editing her latest video confessional. And oh, and by the way, I'm still dressed exactly like I was for that movie callback that I had, so I'm looking very country bumpkin-esque here in my callback attire. I had the toothpick in my mouth and the boots, and, you know, doused myself with some water so I look all nasty and sweaty, and it was great. It was fun. I love the callback. I don't know anything about it yet, but regardless, it was a blast, and we'll see what happens. So I was working on editing her video, and I still didn't quite know, because I've been reading some PMs, but there's some confusion on the Limerick tribe, because Sierra and Tony were the two people that voted for Suri. Everybody else, just, you know, solid voting Tony. The only votes for Suri, reading people's confessionals and seeing some messages, and I'm like, why does everybody think Julie wasn't in on this vote? Why is everybody thinking that Julie voted for Suri? What's going on? And I hadn't seen where it came from, but I should have figured it out. And then I checked Michelle Diane, her confessional, and she realizes that she misread names when PMs were bouncing around. She got the names of Julie and Suri mixed up, and has somehow been telling people that Julie was was basically the lone vote for Suri instead of Tony. But she's caught this mistake. And the confusing part to me is now, to further the complication, I just checked her confessional again, and now she thinks Julie is up to all this conniving, sneaky stuff because... Okay, Diane has come to the conclusion that Julie is lying about this stuff, but I don't see where the logic is coming from. And I'm looking at her confessional, and she's jumping to the conclusion that somehow Julie is saying that she changed her vote. Now, I'm going to have to go back and see if I can actually find a PM where Julie says, I changed my vote from Suri to Tony. You know, and Michelle's like, this doesn't make a lot of sense, is what she's posting in her confessional, saying, you know, you can't change your vote in the voting booth. But I'm like, that's when I realized I needed to make this video confessional, because I started talking out loud. And if I start talking out loud once I read something in somebody's confessional, that's when I know I need to turn the camera on. Because I was like, just ask her. I don't understand why when she reads a PM that she interprets a certain way, why not just reply to it and say something like, hey, I just wanted to double check, just so I know, you know, that we're both on the same page or whatever. You mean you tried to switch your vote once you got it in? You were trying to switch it? Or, I read that and I'm like, if Julie said anything along those lines, all it means is that she found out towards the end of the voting period, and she got her vote in for Tony. She was being told by Dave and Adam, Oh, bless you guys. I don't know what game you're playing. Oh. Julie was being told that the vote was changing from Suri to Tony. And that's what Julie was communicating to Diane, is that she's confused about how she's getting blamed for all this stuff when she's telling Diane that she voted for Tony. I don't know. I'm trying to follow the logic train. Hashtag logic train. But I don't know. She just has a way of jumping to certain conclusions when I don't see that there's the logic and the actual information that backs it up. That's the only thing that really throws me. I mean, I'm all for people speculating and thinking, well, when somebody says this, could it mean that, or could it mean this, or you know, I get that. I really do. There are times that I don't understand why players make the game harder for themselves than it has to be. And it all comes down to the social game. And honestly, Diane has one of the best social games in this season. She really does. She is the first player that has ever been in now 10 roped games. So she is the most veteran player in this cast, and actually in all my seasons, nobody else has played in 10 games. She's the first one to hit the 10th season for herself. And just ask people. Why not ask people what they mean? And if you word it well enough, hopefully they won't like start questioning, well, why is this person asking me? What did I mean when I said that? It's the communication. That communication breaks down with people, and that's why they jump to these sometimes crazy conclusions that they jump to. When I'm reading it, going, where are you getting this information? You know, like kind of the same thing with Bubba, with his paranoia. I mean, that's a different thing where it's not based on messages. He just sees certain people online together and he just freaks out. I mean, I think he's into the conspiracy theories and all that stuff, and he's just like, it's really funny to me because he is doing so well, amazingly well. This ain't Butch in Return of the Amazon. This is like, holy crap. He's a player. This guy's he's getting it together. But he does come to some odd conclusions when he's just like, he sees two people online and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm out tonight. I'm gonna be out because I'm out. I'm gone. I guess my game's over because they were on. They were talking. I know they were talking about what I said. I said this thing and they said it's I'm just he's coming around though. He's starting to calm down and realize that he can't just freak out every time he sees two people on his tribe online at the same time. And maybe there's nobody else online at the same time, and he's just like, oh, they're conspiring against me, and I'm out. It's like, Bubba, slow down, okay? But anyway, enough about that. I had to rant a little bit because it's interesting because it's becoming a theme, kind of the miscommunication with people and just this comedy of errors of the challenges and things that just that people just aren't quite getting yet. I don't quite know where this is gonna go because people they're not happy with Dave. I don't know what he's doing, but he's just, without talking to people beforehand, he'll just go to them straight up, hey, bam, want to be in an alliance? And it's like, that's no. Solid players know that you can't tell a person like that no. You have to say yes, even if you're like, oh gosh, now I'm in this group I don't want to be in with people that don't really get the back and forth. And Adam with his 2-sentence replies to things, and people are just like, well, I'm kind of in this alliance of 5 that I don't want to be in. So I don't know. The Limerick tribe is they're kind of a hot mess right now. They're kind of a hot mess right now. But they're fun. They're fun. I'm enjoying seeing new players trying to figure out how to navigate the social waters the strategic waters of a game like this, but also seeing veteran players try to mix in with these newer players, and it's an interesting mixture. So we'll see how it goes from here.